This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and our very special guest today is from the Christmas Box House, Celeste Edmonds, right?
That's correct.
Celeste Edmonds. Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Celeste, for joining me
Thanks
today.
for having me.
Yes. So last week we had Richard Paul Evans on, and he talked briefly about the Christmas Box. We kind of talked about his latest book, and we talked about a speech that I saw him give on going after your dreams, and then the last part of the show we talked about the Christmas box, and I thought, man, we need more of that.
More of that this time of year, especially.
Exactly, especially this time of year. So you brought something in. I was just reading these statistics, and it shares that more than 9,900 children in Utah experienced abuse last year. That's a large number.
It is a large number.
And Richard was sharing how the number right now, not because like abuse is going away, but is lessened because of the coronavirus, because there is less exposure to teachers, because people are staying home, and so these children aren't being, I guess, recognized about being abused, right? And so that's a scary thing.
It's a scary thing. The state refers to them as referral sources. Right? So that's
Yes.
going to be schools,
Right.
church officials.
Yes.
Because, a lot of people don't realize that in the 70s, an actual law for reporting abuse came out. It's surprising it took clear till the 70s, but
Wow.
it's illegal not to report child abuse now.
Wow.
It continues to be that way. It was kind of, what happens in the home stays in the home.
Yes.
Where now that's you're supposed to disclose that. But to your point, I think because of COVID, those referral sources, as they refer to them, have been lost.
Yes.
So really, we don't know. We don't know how
Right.
many kiddos are not being reported.
Right.
And those families, honestly, that are on the verge of just needing services so their children won't get removed.
Yep.
Many of those had to be closed off as well.
Oh, right.
So it is kind of a touchy time for numbers.
Yeah.
But
Gosh,
we do
scary.
know on average, we shelter and provide services for around 10,000 a year.
Wow.
So that won't change. Those numbers won't change for us.
Right.
In terms of how many children come into the homes and how many children we provide Christmas for and how many children are sex trafficked and, protected at the home.
Wow.
So.
That's crazy. So it also states here that 125,000 children, the Christmas Box International has protected more than 125,000 children. That's enough to fill the Madison Square Garden more than 6 times. That's
I know when you think of that scale,
crazy.
it is kind of mind blowing. It's like, wow,
Yes.
that's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, and the number sounds impressive from like an organizational standpoint. We will
Right.
celebrate 25 years next year.
Wow.
The Christmas Box International.
Yes.
But when you think over 2 decades, those are real kids.
That's.
They're not just numbers.
Yeah.
Those are like kids with little feet and kids running down the hall and
With
know what I mean?
feelings
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are real people.
Yes.
So it's actually kind of a sad number.
Right.
As well as it's great we have it.
Right.
At the same time.
Right. It's great you've helped that many children. It's
Yeah.
sad that many children needed help.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Holy cow. Okay, so can you tell us what exactly is the Christmas Box House for those that are listening and are like, I've heard of that, but I don't even really know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to.
Thanks.
So the name actually stemmed from the book, Richard Paul Evans' book, The Christmas Box. Many people, aren't aware of that as well.
Yes.
So clear back in 1992, he wrote this little green paperback. It's
Right.
under 13,000 words. And it was really just a gift for friends and family. And then people started like handing it out and passing it around. And he was like, wow, this is creating an impact.
Yeah.
And it's about the loss of childhood through decisions, indirect or directly, that are made.
Got it.
And when he became a national bestseller, he and his wife, talked about it and decided they wanted to give some of that money back.
Wow.
And they didn't know how, but their father was a social worker. And so he asked him, and he said, I don't know. So we held this large conference and found out during that time that a shelter, emergency shelter services for abused and neglected children, was very necessary. And so over the coming years, we opened 3 in Utah,
Wow.
Moab, Salt Lake, and Ogden.
Okay.
And really the premise is that we would take children that are being removed
Yeah.
because of abuse or neglect, and we would provide a short-term place for them to come, be safe. All services could wrap under one roof.
Yes.
With the public-private partnership with the community and the state and the county.
Yes.
And then the hope is always that less transitions are happening for that child. So let's say in the middle of the night, a police officer removes a child. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Right.
Not unheard of. More
Right.
common than we think.
Yes.
Where are they going to take that child?
Yeah.
If there's not a Christmas box house, they're going to make a quick decision.
Oh.
They're calling, is there a family member that can take the child? They're looking for a foster home. Now imagine there's more than one child. There's siblings.
Oh my gosh.
And trying to kind of cram, you know,
Yeah.
can you take 3 children?
Right.
Can you take 4 children?
At
5?
1:30 in the morning.
I mean, Utah also
Yeah.
has large families.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Considering.
Seriously.
And I was one of those children. I had 2 siblings, and we had to be separated for that reason. So
Oh my gosh.
it's probably one of the most special things to me about the Christmas Box House is that
Got it.
sibling groups get to stay together, because it
Gotcha.
honestly, it can be even more traumatic for siblings to be separated from each other
I can imagine.
than even from their parents. I
Right.
mean, you're a bond during that time of chaos,
Yes.
and to have that taken from you really shakes your stability.
Right.
And so it's pretty awesome to actually see sibling groups stay together.
No
At the
kidding.
Christmas Box House. I'm
No
like,
kidding.
that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been really great.
Right,
Yeah.
right, because now you're afraid, you're alone.
Mhm.
At least if you're with your
Mhm.
siblings, you know, you have each
Mhm.
other.
And when you're the oldest, like in my situation, you're also the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiding siblings in closets, or you're keeping things quiet when there's, you know, screaming in the
Right.
home or inappropriate people coming into the home. You become that protector.
Right.
And so all of a sudden you're like, I don't know if brother and sister are okay. I don't
Right.
know if where they're at, someone knows like, oh, that's her favorite Christmas song this time of year.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of soothed her during chaos. Or, he really loved that little stuffed animal. Like, who knows that?
Right.
Nobody knows those
Nobody.
details. And
Yeah.
so it felt, for me, it was like losing children.
Right.
Much more than losing siblings.
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
like, no, who's going to do homework with her? You know what I mean? Who's going to walk her to
Exactly.
school? I'm thinking of all those like parental things you do.
Yep.
So it's pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing organization. That is fantastic.
Okay, before we part ways, in case you have a dog or know someone else who does have a dog, I wanted to take a quick second to show you the Snap Leash. The Snap Leash can literally do so many things, and I'm going to share with you one of the many cool things that it can do. As you can see, the Snap Leash is designed with 2 swivel hooks, one on each end. This end has a cushion stitched into it to make it comfortable when walking your dog. Now, all you have to do is take this swivel hook, put it into this very first grommet, and now you've got your handle. Okay, so now let's imagine you're at the park and you want to secure your pet quickly, safely, and easily to a park bench, a tree, or a pole because you just want to sit down and relax. Well, all you need to do is take this swivel hook, remove it from the very first grommet, wrap this leash around any size tree or pole or park bench, and put it into the appropriate grommet. And now you have secured your pet quickly, safely, and easily. And when it's time to head home, another great feature about the Snap Leash is you can simply wrap it around your waist for hands-free walking. Lastly, if you ever accidentally forget your waist bags at home, these grommets make a great place to fasten the waist bags so you never leave home without them. And if you want to see all of the other cool things that the Snap Leash can do, then please just click on the link below and find out why so many others are falling in love with the Snap Leash.